How about now? All right. Hi everyone, I'm Heather Kernahan. I'm from Eastwick. I am really happy to be here tonight to talk about a topic I'm passionate about and to celebrate this milestone with Tech in Motion, so thank you for inviting me. And my topic tonight is finishing strong. We only have 28 days left in 2015, and I think this is a perfect time to talk about how to finish strong. But to talk about how to finish strong, I actually have to go back to something that happened 3 months ago for me. 3 months ago, I decided I need to hire a trainer and a nutritionist. And I hired Angela. And I love Angela, and I hate Angela all at the same time. Angela is tough, which I need. She listens to me talk about work as we lunge and squat and run. And she's got the dry sense of humor. Now, of course, I hate Angela because I hate to run and lunge and squat. But I'm getting there. I pay her a lot of money to help me do that. And one of our workouts, I noticed a cycle that I was going through with her. I would start really, really strong at the beginning of our workout. And then by the middle of the workout, I was going semi-strong. And then the last 10 or 15 minutes, I was just trying to get through it. I was watching the clock and slowing everything down and just praying for it to be over. And it was during one of my 10-minute slow runs at the end of my workout that Angela came up behind me and just smacked me hard on the ass. And she said, "You are going to start finishing your workouts like you start your workouts." And in my panting, I said, "Angela, it's just not possible. I give you everything at the beginning. I work sort of hard in the middle. And by the end, I'm done." And she said, "You're just going to have to figure it out." And really, it's human nature to slow down when you get tired. And I think especially at this time of year, there are 100 reasons to be tired. It's dark, it's cold, it's rainy, there's a lot of shit going on in the world, and it makes you just want to cuddle up in your house and wait out till the new year. But I think this is exactly why most people do that. That's exactly why everyone here tonight needs to think about, how do I finish this year strong and prepare myself to move ahead into 2016. So that's what I'm talking about tonight, finishing strong, kind of a different topic than the other speakers. And I want to take you first through the case of why you need to finish strong. 90% of people won't. If you decide that you are going to finish strong, you are in a 10% category. I like those odds. I like being the one to say, I'm going to finish this run strong. I'm going to finish my project strong. I personally want to be in the top 10% of everything I do. So I see finishing strong as a massive opportunity for anybody who wants to be a high performer in their field. That's the first reason you need to start finishing strong. The second reason you need to start finishing strong is you've got to have something that's worth it. And I don't mean something that doesn't mean anything, I mean something that is really, really worth it to you. I'm an immigrant from Canada. It's a different country. It's to the north, wherever north is. When I immigrated from Canada, I felt like I needed to go get my MBA. I was working in tech in San Francisco, I was on the path to be a CMO, and I wanted to get skills that I didn't already have. The other reason I wanted to do it was because I just grew up thinking I wasn't a very smart kid. I knew I had hustle, and I knew I had energy, but the word masters never even entered my train of thought ever. I just wasn't that smart. And I thought, okay, I've got something to prove to myself. And that became especially true when I had my daughter Madison. Get a little picture of Maddie. So when I had Madison and I was remembering that I didn't think things were possible for me, I wanted to make everything possible for her. So that was my emotional reason for doing my MBA. I wanted to walk across the stage and have my daughter see me do that. So I started my MBA, and I started strong. Like, I was doing 3 classes, I was working full time, I was traveling everywhere. And then I got pregnant with my second child, my son Cameron, and I kept going. Like, people were like, "You're 9 months pregnant, you're in school." I don't care, I'm doing this. And then I had Cameron and I took a semester off. And that one semester turned into a whole year off. And I had decided that I was not going to go back to school after that year because it was too hard. I had 2 little kids, a husband, a big job, a lot of travel. I forgot that it was worth it. And so I called my sister looking for validation for what I had decided to do, that I would not go back to school. And she sent me this picture, which was taken right around the time I started my MBA. And she said, as long as you can look in that little girl's eyes and tell her why you quit and feel okay with it, I give you total permission to not go finish your MBA. I mean, how could you do that? I could give her no answer to why I didn't finish what I had started. So I went back to school, and I'm so proud to say I graduated 2 years ago with my MBA. I walked across the stage.
Woo!
Thank you. Yeah. Madison was there, my son Cameron, my husband Mike. So to me, that it's just such an emotional connection. If you have something that's worth it, you will work till 4 a.m. doing, pro formas, 5-year pro formas, because it means something to you. It's gotta be worth it. And the third reason to finish strong is to have this success flywheel that just starts going. And I hate the word flywheel, but I couldn't think of a better one to describe it. I just find once you start finishing strong, you've got a lot of confidence. Confidence gives you momentum. Momentum gives you confidence. And suddenly you're in this cycle, and it's just going awesome for you. And when you think about 90% of the people won't put in the effort, and you start your flywheel of success as you end the year, 2016 is going to be amazing. So those are all the reasons why. And honestly, most people talk about the reasons why you should. I find there's very little conversation about how to finish strong. How do you actually do it when it's 4 a.m. and you're crying over an Excel pro forma sheet? Like, how do you get yourself out of that? And I've come up with 4 tips. Some of them are mine, and some of them I've taken from people that I respect a lot in different professions. So the first tip is to stay within yourself. There's a lot of competition out there, and it is incredibly easy to be distracted by what's happening in the world. You can read their press releases. You can see how much funding people are getting. You can look at their new products that are launching. And I'm telling you, as long as you are focused outside yourself, you will not finish strong. And about 20 years ago when I started in tech, I went through a period of time when I was incredibly jealous of people around me. I was watching them get promoted. I was watching them move on to great jobs, and my performance was in decline. And I came across this quote. It was a baseball player's creed, and I do not play baseball. But it really spoke to me, and it said, stay within yourself, play your own game. You can always outperform yourself. And I wrote that down. It's still in my wallet today, and I take it out at least once a month when I'm too focused on my competitors, and I gotta focus within myself. I'm my fiercest competition. And when I do that, I can really make progress. Now, as I told you, I'm Canadian, and this next example is really gonna piss you guys off, but I look for inspiration. Inside a tech and outside a tech, and I think you have to do the same. Inside tech, it's so damn easy to be inspired. New products, new business models, new companies all the time, it's constant. I like to look outside at other high performers and bring their ideas into my finishing strong. So for those of you who remember, it was 2010, it was the gold medal round, men's hockey, Team Canada, who remembers this? Versus Team USA, yeah, baby, it was a good one. And it was tied up 2-2, going into overtime. And the folks at Team Canada, the players at Team Canada, talk a lot about the mental state of the players inside the room just before they went out into overtime. And what they decided to do was, they were gonna go out and play overtime like it was the very start of the game. How inspirational is that? They were exhausted. Everyone thought they were gonna lose, but they came out and they played it, and Sidney Crosby got the winning goal. I remember I landed in Vegas and I was like cheering among Americans. I had to back down a little afraid, but that to me is an inspiration that I look to constantly when I'm feeling like I'm the underdog, when I'm feeling like things aren't going my way and people don't expect me to win, and I really need to find it and finish strong. Another place I find inspiration is restaurateurs. There's a lot of high performers in the restaurant entertainment business. So I look to Danny Mayer, who's the CEO and founder of Shake Shack. And for those of you who don't know his story, he had a couple of restaurants in 2000 when he started a little cart in Madison Square Park. It was a Shake Shack cart. And he received a lot of resistance from the local community about that cart, but also the authorities who were issuing permits for food. And every year he came back with that cart, and every year he made it just a little bit better. And he continued to communicate with the community about what he wanted to do with the Flatiron District in Madison Square Park. And he grew it, and he grew it, and he grew it into a global brand that's now public today and traded on the NYSE. So I look to him whenever I'm feeling like what I'm doing is small and it's taking a long time, and I don't feel like finishing this strong. I don't think it's worth it. I look to him as an example, like a 14-year journey for him with Shake Shack, and the outcome is amazing. All right, my next tip number 3, is you're not who you think you are when it comes to finishing strong. It's a cat that thinks it's a rabbit. You're not who you think you are. Or another way to say it is, you're not who you used to be. I use this one a lot because I used to think I wasn't a very smart kid. You know, you might think you were lazy, unfocused, unhireable. Whatever you used to think you are changing all the time. You're constantly evolving and getting better at what you do and getting to new levels. And sometimes what happens is the who you are today, who you really are, is not who you feel like you are on the inside. So I encourage you to go out and talk to the last few people who hired you or promoted you. If you're having trouble with understanding where you're operating today, go talk to those people because they have seen something in you they could see ahead of where you are. And I think that for many people, where you are, your brain needs to catch up with the reality of it, and you need to gain the confidence, and that confidence will help you finish strong. All right, my last tip, which is my favorite. It's the +1 mindset. And I have to tell you, I'm really obsessed with the concept of +1 mindset and +1 thinking. And I know I'm obsessed because I talk about it at work all the time, and my 7-year-old knows what a +1 mindset is, and Starbucks people know what it is too now. Because when I see it in action, it's fucking magic. And what it is it's you take whatever you are working on and you make it better. And it doesn't even have to be a lot better. It can be a little bit better. So whether it's your code, clean it up. Whether it's your research on your customers, you need to do a little more digging on who they are. If you're writing an email to your boss and you put a little bit of insight at the top to make it easier for them to understand your thinking. Those are all examples of +1 thinking. And when you can do some +1 thinking, suddenly you stand way out from the crowd. And you end up finishing strong in a different way than you've ever showed up before. And suddenly you're someone to partner with. You're someone to fund. You're someone to acquire. You're someone to work for. And we're all trying to hire the best talent. You want to be somebody to work for. Or you're someone to work with. So for all those reasons, +1 to me is the most important concept in how do you finish strong. Take what you're doing and make it a little bit better. And the reason I'm here tonight is a +1 activity. I went to someone in my office and I said, in 2016, I think I want to go speak a little bit more. And she said, okay, we'll get you on some panels with a group of people. It'll be easy. And now I'm here tonight by myself up here. And you know, she overachieved on what she was working on. And it's that kind of +1 thinking I love to hire and work around. So to wrap it up, I need to go back to my workouts with Angela. Now when I work out, the last 10 to 15 minutes are the absolute hardest times for me. I run until I'm tired, and then I have to run even faster to the finish. She makes me finish hard, and she makes me believe that I can finish stronger than when I started. And I'm in that success flywheel I talked about earlier. Like, I've got confidence and I've got momentum and I am cranking it. And I've also lost 25 pounds, so that does not hurt at all. Kind of makes it worth it. But that's what I hope for all of you tonight. I hope that you can take at least one of these ideas and commit to yourself to finish 2015 incredibly strong so you can open up 2016 already in the groove and super kick ass. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Heather. I'd like to thank all of our speakers tonight, Jerome,